So it's been quite a while since I uploaded my last top 10 of the 2010s. Back in like January or February, right when the new year came around, I was talking about the top 10 players at each position from the last decade, and then I kind of just stopped because regular baseball was starting up. But since the coronavirus has taken over and we really don't have much else to talk about, let's go back, let's revisit some positions that I haven't yet done, and start doing the top 10s again of the 2010s decade. So today, as you saw from the title, we're going to be going over the top 10 first basemen of the 2010s decade. So remember, when you get in the comments to tell me how wrong I am, do not mention about how they played before 2010. That is irrelevant to the conversation. We are talking about the best players from the last decade, 2010 to 2019. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comments down below, give me your top 10 rankings of the best first baseman from the last 10 years. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description, always talking baseball over there. Getting us started today at the number 10 spot, we've got a forgotten first baseman because his career ended so abruptly in 2016. That's gonna be Prince Fielder. Fielder for the first half of the 2010s decade was one of the top first basemen in the league, but because his career ended so quickly, it ended in 2016 after some injuries, he does fall to number 10 because he just didn't play the last few years. But he got the decade started off hot. 2010 to 2013, he averaged 31 homers, 33 doubles, and 104 RBIs a year, with a 288 batting average, 397 on base, 504 slugging, and a 901 OPS. For the entirety of the 2010s decade, again, 7 years, and a couple of them had injuries, 159 homers, 575 RBIs, a 282 batting average with a 383 on base, 475 slugging, and 857 OPS. This gave him averages of 23 homers, 26 doubles, 82 RBIs. This is with seasons having 3 and 8 home runs due to injury. In the 2010s, he made 4 All-Star teams, finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting twice, and was a Silver Slugger winner twice as well. Prince Fielder, definitely one of the best first basemen of the last 10 years. For the 9th best first baseman of the 2010s, we are going to talk about Adrian Gonzalez. Now, some of his best years happened before the 2010s, back when he was with the Padres, but he still had some good years with the Padres, Red Sox, and Dodgers. For the 2010s, he averaged 20 homers, 32 doubles, and 86 RBIs a season, with a 291 batting average, 355 on base, 473 slugging, and an 828 OPS. Also a very strong fielder at first base. The reason he gets put ahead of Prince Fielder is just because of that longevity. He did play more games in the decade. Otherwise, Prince Fielder in that shorter period of time was better. He was a 3-time All-Star, finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting 3 times, won 2 Gold Gloves, won 2 Silver Sluggers, led the league in hits in 2011, led the league in RBIs in 2014, consistently posting an OPS above 800. Those last 3 seasons weren't great due to injuries and just getting older, but Adrian Gonzalez overall is the 9th best first baseman in 2010s. At number 8, we probably have one of the more underappreciated first basemen of the last 10 years. That's going to be Carlos Santana. Now, for the first few seasons of Carlos Santana's career, he was a catcher, but his offensive numbers really took a spike when he started playing first base. During the 2010s, he averaged 23 homers, 29 doubles, and 77 RBIs, with a 250 batting average, 367 on base, 450 slugging, and 817 OPS. And if you look at the time from when he moved to first base and not just playing catcher anymore, his numbers just get better. 26 homers, 31 doubles, higher OPS, batting average, on base, slugging. Add in the fact that he's a switch hitter, Carlos Santana is really valuable and super underappreciated. Had a great season last year in Cleveland. Wasn't great in Philly, but pretty much when he's been with the Indians, he's been a really solid player. Made 1 All-Star appearance, twice inside the top 20 of the MVP, and won a Silver Slugger last year. Not one of the best players in the league, definitely underappreciated, but still, he has put together a great decade. Comes in at number 8. At the number 7 spot, we are staying inside the American League Central. The first baseman for the Chicago White Sox, Jose Abreu. Now, he's only played 6 years in the past decade, but his production over those 6 years has been absolutely wild. He is one of the best straight-up hitting first basemen in the league. In the 6 years of Jose Abreu's career, he's won the Rookie of the Year, finished 4th in the MVP voting, made 3 All-Star teams, won 2 Silver Sluggers, led the league in slugging in 2014 and OPS+. He's averaging 30 homers, 36 doubles, and 102 RBIs a season, with a 293 average, 349 on base, 513 slugging, and 862 OPS. The dude absolutely mashes at the plate. He comes in at the number 7 spot because I need to see more than 6 years of play out of him, but in those 6 years, he's been absolutely fantastic. One of the best hitting first basemen in the league, without a doubt. Number 7 in the last 10 years. Just missing out on the top 5, coming in at number 6, we've got Albert Pujols, who had a couple really good seasons with the Cardinals in the past decade, which feels so long ago. And then with the Angels, he had a couple good years too, but really hasn't been the same player. Still gets him inside that top 10. Despite Pujols' drop off the last few years with the Angels, he still has managed to average 29 homers, 27 doubles, and 96 RBIs a season this past decade, with a 268 average, 331 on base, 475 slugging, and an OPS at 806. If you get rid of the seasons from 2017 to 2019, he's averaging 32 homers, 31 doubles, 100 RBIs, even stealing 7 bases a year, 278 batting average, 345 on base, 502 slugging, and 846 OPS. That's definitely more indicative of the player that we remember Albert Pujols for. He's finished inside the top 5 of the MVP voting twice, made 2 All-Star teams. He's definitely being carried by his performance at the beginning of the decade, which is why he's just going to miss out on the top 5 of my list. Because coming in at at number 5, we've got Chicago Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo, who has been just the definition of consistent the last 5 years at first base for the Cubs. Big reason for their success. For the entirety of the decade, Anthony Rizzo's averaging 24 homers, 29 doubles, and 81 RBIs a season, with a 273 average, 373 on base, 488 slugging, and 862 OPS. He's hit over 200 homers, over 250 doubles. Now, if you take his averages from 2014 until present day, the numbers get even better. He's averaging 30 homers and 30 doubles a year with just around 100 RBIs, a 284 average, 388 on base, 513 slugging, and 901 OPS. Combine that with the fact that he is a great fielder at first base, 3-time All-Star, won the World Series in 26, 3-time Gold Glover, finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting 3 different times. He's a stud. So maybe a little controversial, but at the number 4 spot, I'm going to go with first baseman of the Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman, who's filthy, by the way. Best first baseman currently in baseball. But for the 2010s decade, he falls at 4. I'm not going to count his 2010 year because he played 20 games and had 24 at-bats. So take 2011 to 2019, Freeman is averaging 25 homers, 35 doubles, and 89 RBIs a season, 294 average with a 380 on base, 505 slugging, and 885 OPS. Fantastic fielder at first base, has definitely improved his game there and is still pretty solid. Since 2016, he's really seen a power surge in his game, averaging about 30 homers a year, close to 40 doubles. He walks, is a great fielder, good player, hits to all fields. Freddie Freeman is the best first baseman in baseball currently, and even for the past decade, like I said, he's at number 4. He's really good. 4-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove, won a Silver Slugger, finished inside the top 10 of the MVP voting 4 different times. Freddie Freeman is good. Which now leads us to our number 3 first baseman of the 2010s decade, which is going to be Paul Goldschmidt, playing with the Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals. Goldschmidt is just so good. Maybe one of the most underrated players in the league. Yes, he had a down 2019, but when he was with Arizona, he was putting up absolutely ridiculous numbers and seemed to get no love. Similar to Freeman, we're going to ignore his 2011 season because he only played about 48 games. So from 2012 to 2019, Paul Goldschmidt's averaging 29 homers, 35 doubles, 98 RBIs, and 15 stolen bases a season, a 294 average with a 393 on base, 526 slugging to give him an OPS at 919. In 2013, he led the National League in home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases. 2016, he led the league in walks, walking 110 times. He's going to give you 30 plus homers, 30 doubles, close to 100 RBIs a season, and OPS hovering around 900. Like last year were career lows for him, and he still hit 34 homers, 97 RBIs, and an OPS at 821. That's in his worst season. He's finished inside the top 5 of the MVP voting 3 different times, 6-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover, 4-time Silver Slugger, probably one of the most athletic first basemen in the league. Paul Goldschmidt is definitely number 3 because the top 2 is pretty unbelievable to beat. So coming in at number 2, it's going to bother some people, but I'm going with Miguel Cabrera. The reason Miguel Cabrera comes in at number 2 and not number 1 is because the 2 best seasons that he had was while he played third base because the Tigers got Prince Fielder. So while he classifies as a first baseman and was probably the best player of the 2010s to classify as a first baseman, for this video where it's strictly about first base, he doesn't get the nod over the guy who's going to be number 1. Still though, unbelievable. So for the 2010s, Miguel Cabrera averaged 27 homers, 32 doubles, 94 RBIs, hitting 317 with a 399 on base, 544 slugging to give him an OPS at 943. You take away the last 3 seasons because he's been hurt and just kind of been old, and he averaged 34 and 39 with 114 RBIs, a 330 batting average with a 414 on base, 582 slugging to give him an OPS at 996. He's won 2 MVPs, granted they were at third base, but he still won 2 in the past decade. Finished inside the top 5 2 other times, 7-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger. Miguel Cabrera is just absolutely fantastic, and the guy won a Triple Crown, led the league in average, on base a few times, slugging, OPS. The reason he comes in at 2 though is again because he played third base in his 2 best years. That's seriously the only reason I don't put him at 1. Because at number 1, I think you know who it's going to be. It is Cincinnati Reds first baseman Joey Votto, who only played first base this decade, which is why he gets the nod over Cabrera. Do I think that his numbers overall are better than Miggy? No, but at first base for the past decade, he's the guy. So the last 10 years, Joey Votto at first base for the Reds has averaged 23 homers, 33 doubles, 76 RBIs a season, walking 105 times, striking out 109 each year. That's unbelievable for an entire decade to average almost more walks than strikeouts. 306 batting average, 428 on base, 516 slugging, gives him an OPS at 944, and that is with 2 pretty bad seasons the last 2 years in Cincinnati. Get rid of those 2 seasons, go from 2010 to 2017, you get even better numbers, a 314 average, 438 on base, 542 slugging, 980 OPS, 25 plus homers, 30 plus doubles, 80 plus RBIs. He has a great glove at first base, probably one of the best eyes this game has ever seen. In the 2010s, he led the National League in on-base percentage 7 different times, once in slugging and twice in OPS, led the league in walks multiple times, has led the league in doubles. Joey Votto, up until the last few years, has been absolutely disgusting. So while him and Miggy are basically neck and neck, Votto gets the nod because he played first base the entirety of the decade. Miggy's 2 best seasons were at third. So those are my top 10 first basemen of the 2010s decade. I would love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Tell me where I'm right. Tell me where I'm wrong. Am I crazy for putting Votto ahead of man, Miguel Cabrera, the man who won 2 MVPs. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, you want to see more of these top 10s, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Make sure you go check me out on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all the social medias, links in the description, GiraffeNeckMarc everywhere. And that is where we're going to wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload, so if you haven't seen them, click through them, check them out. You're going to enjoy them. Expect to see some more top 10s over the next few days because there's just not much going on in baseball right now. And that's where I'm going to end it for today. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.